What's going on, everyone? So I've been playing Halo Infinite as my Doom Snap Map replacement time because the servers are still down on Xbox, and I played it enough and I thought about giving my thoughts on it. I got some theater mode gameplay going on, so this was just me trying to learn how to use theater mode. And this match was actually my first time playing on this map, and I do have another match if this one isn't long enough, but that's basically it for some of the commentary on my gameplay. Let's get into the topic. I think the best way to describe this Halo multiplayer is it's Halo 3 meets Halo 5, but it takes the good aspects of them and merges them well. What Infinite does to remind me of Halo 3 is just the equipment placements on the map, and I think the equipment in Infinite is more balanced and skill based than what Halo 3 ever did. If you guys saw my grappling hook footage, that's just a small example of what you can do with some of the equipment mechanic in Infinite. I've also done some cool stuff with the repulsor, like getting away from deaths because I rocket jump with it, or I'll just use it to get myself like some height advantage to put myself in a better position for gunfights. What reminds me of Halo 5 and Infinite is the movement emphasis. I'm glad that Infinite is still pushing emphasis on the movement, because that was my favorite thing in Halo 5. You can really do so much cool with the movement system from Halo 5, like being able to perform some cool trick jumps that can very benefit you and your team during battle. And this game is the same thing in some of the equipment tied to Halo 5's movement system. Like I said, with the grappling hook, you can escape death or get up in higher levels. Just like a lot of cool stuff to allow the player to, express themselves. The weapon balance seems fairly good so far. I personally been playing the standard AR and pistol mode because I just like using those two weapons compared to the rank playlist, where it's just battle rifle start, and it's very much in keen to Halo 2/3 MLG settings, which was never really my thing, but I've been playing some of that too, just to see how different it plays, and I like the contrast between the two settings. I do think the pistol's a little underpowered. I noticed the bullet magnetism isn't strong enough compared to the battle rifle, where getting headshots seem way harder on the pistol compared to the battle rifle, where the battle rifle feels very familiar to the previous battle rifles from previous Halos. But I do love how the pistol feels overall, because I'm a big Halo 1 player, so I like using a good pistol. An Infinite pistol is pretty nice overall for a starting weapon. I think it just needs to be like a 6-shot kill weapon, or maybe just increase the bullet magnetism a little bit for the headshot. The assault rifle, on the other hand, I do think it should have a slight nerf with the scope range, because there is no descoping on the assault rifle, and the assault rifle does do quite a bit of damage at mid-range. A little too much for my taste. I actually did lose a gunfight at mid-range while using a battle rifle against an assault rifle user, so that just tells you how strong the assault rifle is in this game. But most of the time I beat the assault rifle user at mid-range with my battle rifle, so I wouldn't say it's too powerful, but it does feel a little too strong for a starting weapon. But the new weapons, they're also very cool. I personally love the Stalker rifle, which is a nice replacement to the light rifle / carbine. The Mangler is very cool though, although it is very connection based from my experience, but it's a really good weapon if you use it with the battle rifle or the pistol. Like, it's such a great weapon to just soften out like the opponent's shield. I think the Cinder Shot has some of the coolest weapon model out of the new weapons, and the projectile looks really nice too. And I like this gun. It's basically an upgraded version of the brute shot from Halo 2. The new maps are pretty cool. I do think the maps aren't as good compared to previous Halos. I don't think there's really a map that feels like it's going to be the map that people are going to remember for years. Like in Halo 1, you had Battle Creek, Blood Gulch, Wizard, and so on. In Halo 2, you had Midship, Lockout Turf, Sanctuary. This game needs, a map like those kind of maps. But who knows, maybe in the future, 343 could bring back some old maps, which will be nice. Or possibly make some new maps that could be well received, like those maps I mentioned. I also played Big Team Battle, and it's definitely a blast with the new objective modes, and it should feel familiar to those who played that mode from previous Halos. Lots of mayhem and chaos with the upped player count, and you got the vehicles going on, and you know, let's be honest here. Big team battle, like in general, has always been like the mode that just takes advantage of all the sandbox from Halo. The new objective modes are cool too. I do enjoy Stockpile the most since I think it requires players to have different roles rather than the domination one, where it's more about just trying to play aggressive to take those locations and then just defending it. But either way, they are very fun and it feels welcoming to Halo. I also want to mention the lack of playlist is a problem for this game. I do hope on the campaign launch day we will see more playlists in the future, but I just don't like how the game didn't you know, have more playlists. Like what is it? The lack of Team Slayer or FFA playlist is pretty disappointing, but I assume in the long run there will be more playlists because, you know, sometimes there are moments where I just want to play Slayer and not play objectives modes. But I think they're trying to force people to play both the Slayer and objective modes just to allow players to relate to what the MLG guys are playing. But I still want a dedicated a dedicated Slayer playlist at the end of the day. The melee is pretty broken in this game so far. I've had moments where it seems like the registration is not working as properly, and I've noticed there are moments where I'm trying to trade kills for a player and that doesn't happen, and that is pretty frustrating without a doubt. I don't know if it's a netcode thing, but this is something that's been pretty annoying the more I play this game, and it's something I've never encountered from previous Halos. So I hope in the future this could be, you know, fixed, because, you know, for objective modes like what is it, the stronghold mode, like it's so frustrating when your melee doesn't register for that mode. It can really make a difference. So far, Halo Infinite is great in its current stance. I'm aware there's the controversy with the Battle Pass system. I can't comment on that because I didn't pay, you know, a single dime for the multiplayer, so I'm just pretty much playing like straight, like playing it the most vanilla way, if you would say. And this is Halo's first time releasing its multiplayer component for free to play, and hopefully there's no like paid to win type advantage in the future. Like, I can understand paying for cosmetics or even maybe like maps. Like if you want to pay a certain map, you know, to have while playing Halo Infinite, then okay, I might be fine with that. But I do hope in the future the game won't get too crazy with how it makes money in the long run, because obviously, you know, the devs are going to have to find one way or another way to make money, since I don't think campaign is going to be the only source of making cash. So I do hope in the future Halo Infinite doesn't evolve for the worse, because 3 years or 5 years down the line, this game is going to be a different game, without a doubt. And of course, you know, the pay to win stuff, I don't really play Apex Legends or Fortnite, so I don't really know like how they kind of handle their how they handle their business aspect in terms of making, you know, money, because those two games are free to play. But, you know, I really hope Halo does not have any sort of like pay to win type of content, because Halo 5 kind of had like a pay to win type of content with like its Warzone system, where like what is it, like that whole like rec system where you pay like a bunch of money and you could totally get lucky with some of like those weapon variants, and that was kind of pay to win in a way. But yeah, hopefully, you know, hopefully a system like that doesn't return to Infinite, because I'm personally happy with how like Infinite is handling its like microtransaction, where you're just paying for cosmetics. But, you know, I heard like it's really grindy to get all like the cosmetic stuff, so hopefully they'll fix that in the future. But yeah, overall, I like Halo Infinite multiplayer. I think it does have potential to be some of the better multiplayer from the series so far, because I love how mechanical the game is, and it's definitely a game that wants you to be aware of its skill ceiling and skill gap, which is a good thing for sure. I mean, the aim assist in this game is quite little compared to previous Halos, so I think this Halo probably might be one of the more challenging Halos to play on a gamepad, because aim assist is definitely not as strong like the games from Master Chief Collection. It's also cool that this is the first Halo that has crossplay on launch, so you can play with PC players too, which I like. And yeah, if you haven't given this game a shot, go ahead and do so. I think you'll find some entertainment out of it.